Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel, who reacted to my previous videos and to my Instagram posts. It's very much appreciated. And over the last couple of weeks and days, I have connected with other people in the YouTube sphere, if you want, of music and vinyl collectors. I really enjoy doing that, yeah, I'm looking forward to do more. In this video, I would like to focus on not only the record store day list, but other interesting reissues that are coming out in the next couple of months that have recently been announced. I'm going to start with the releases for March and April, and then building up, if you want, building some tension to the great list that is Record Store Day 2024. So I have to say, this is already out. This 2011 album from Brandbrouwer Frick, and in this case, it's the Brandbrouwer Frick Ensemble. There's more musicians than just the three of them. Released this great album, Mr. Machine, in 2011. The easy way to describe them is jazz musicians making techno music. But that's a bit too limiting because this is a very rich album, great musicians, great tracks, original tracks, not covers from techno classics or anything like that. Original music from a very original band. I saw them live a couple of years ago in Düsseldorf. It was amazing, and this is a great album. So if you missed out the first time, this is your chance to grab this. It's out on colored vinyl, probably, you know, since it's 2024. Also, sorry, my voice is a bit low because I didn't sleep too well last night, but I did want to make this video. So, you know, we'll see how far I make it. One of the releases that was announced on Far Out Records, who is one of my favorite labels from the UK, who specialize in Brazilian music and South American music. They are looking beyond Brazil in the last couple of years. They are releasing Back Home from Opa, a band from Uruguay who released the album in the 1970s, early 1970s, or at least they recorded it then. And it was only ever released on CD in 1996, mid-90s. And this will be the first release for that album on Far Out Records. So it should be interesting. Opa is a band with Hugo Fatturoso, who is a great musician. This is a very good album, also on Far Out. Was released in, let me check, 2018. Hugo Fatturoso, great album, and I listened to tracks from the Back Home LP that is coming out. Sounds very good 70s Brazilian or South American jazz funk. Definitely looking forward to that. I did a pre-order already. An anniversary release that is coming out is Apocalypse from the mighty Thundercats. Now, as you can see, I have this album, but there will be bonus tracks on the reissue. The artwork looks insane. They've reshaped it a bit, added some extra layers and stuff like that. So although I have this, I might grab the 10th anniversary reissue or release as well, you know, because first of all, it's Thundercat, magnificent artist, and it looks amazing. So I'm very curious about the bonus tracks as well. But we'll see. An album that I did pre-order is the Live at Carnegie Hall concert from Alice Coltrane from 1971. This is the first time that this will ever be released. It's coming out on vinyl too, via Impulse, of course. And 1971 is the period of her ultra classic, if you want, Journey to Satchidananda, featuring Pharoah Sanders. The live recording is also with Pharoah Sanders. Let me read this from the list: Cecil McBee, Archie Shepp, Jimmy Garrison, and more. So the lineup is incredible. The music is 2 tracks from this album and 2 tracks from her late husband, John Coltrane. With that lineup of musicians, 1971, the recording seems to be incredible. So yeah, pre-order. Switching to hip-hop, one of the best hip-hop albums from the 1990s, probably Bahamadia, Collage. This is a repress from 2016. It's on a single piece of vinyl. It sounds good, but the reissue is done by Be With. It's on double vinyl and it has a bonus track. So yeah, Be With always do a great job. It's a reissue label from England. Always do a great job with reissues, be it jazz or pop or hip hop. So I might switch to the reissue and sell this one to anyone who's interested. Another album that is being reissued, but it's only from 2018, but apparently it's very much in demand, is the album from Toshio Matsuura Group. Let me get this right. Toshio Matsuura is a Japanese musician. He was part of United Future Organization, which was one of my favorite bands from the acid jazz era, if you like, who combined jazz with club music in a very joyful and very, yeah, just very fun way. They released some great albums, but they are no longer together. Toshio, who surrounded himself with an incredible lineup of British musicians. The list is just amazing. Tom Skinner on drums, Tom Herbert on bass, Danalog on synthesizer and piano, trumpets by Yaz Ahmed, tenor saxophone and flute by Nubaya Garcia, guitar Mansur Brown, and drums on one track by Yusuf Days. You know, this incredible musicians, and it's a cover album. They do covers from club classics, if you want, Brown Paperback, drum and bass classic from Ronnie Size and Represent, of course, Do the Astral Plane from Flying Lotus, High Noon by Kruder and Dorfmeister, and At Less, which was probably the first track that showed me that jazz and techno are related and really go very well together. So classic tracks on a very, very unique and very, very good album, actually. I listened to it the other week. It sounds very good. And the good news is that the reissue is going to be a double vinyl, and will also feature the tracks that were released on a separate 12-inch. And the tracks on this are quite impressive. I Am the Black Gold of the Sun and Kitty Bay. So yeah, 2 more tracks, which will now be also featured on the reissue double colored vinyl coming via Brownswood. And one of the things that I am very excited about, which I have been, you know, hoping for the past couple of years, is Ninja Tuna by Mr. Scruff. Mr. Scruff, who designs his own sleeves. He's a great cartoonist, also a phenomenal DJ and a very, very good producer. This album came out on CD only in 2008. It was available with a disc of bonus baits. But this is great. This has Alice Russell, Music Takes Me Up. Great, great track. Tracks with Quantic, Roots Manuva, Danny Breaks, and Andrea Triana. Always a joy to listen to music from Mr. Scruff. Breaks and beats and soulful elements and elements of house music and some jazz samples. And always a fun to listen to. Very happy that this is coming out on Ninja Tune on a 3 LP at the end of the month. So I'm very happy that this is happening. Thank you very much, Ninja Tune, for doing that. Moving into April, there's this one coming out, staying in hip-hop a bit, abstract hip-hop from Japan, DJ Crush. This is an album he made for Apollo Records, which is the sub-label of legendary techno label RNS from Belgium, no less. And this is the album that DJ Crush made with Toshinori Kondo. It's from let me check this, what year was it? Did I write it down? Yeah, 1996. And apparently this goes for quite some money on Discogs, probably why they reissued it, or are reissuing it. It's out on Digger's Factory in April. This is a good album. This combines jazz trumpet with the abstract hip-hop beats of DJ Crush. So this sounds really good. It doesn't sound dated at all, you know, which could happen with some of the albums from that era. but this actually sounds good. So good album, DJ Crush and Toshinori Kondo, coming out in April. Some funk classics are being reissued as well. As always, Lonnie Smith's Aphrodisia will be reissued on Mr. Bongo, a 1975 album that I don't have, which it's a classic. I'm definitely going to check that out. And also the Lafayette Afro Rock Band, who made this album, Malik, and the other one is Soul Makossa. Both albums will be repressed or reissued by Strut Records, and who also do a great job at remastering and re-releasing stuff. So this is coming out in April as well. Be With Records, who I've talked about, are also doing 2 albums from Tommy Guerrero, the skater turned musician, re-releasing an album from 1997 and 2007, which have been long out of print. So I'm looking forward to that. They are called Loose Grooves and Bastard Grooves, and from 1997, and The Return of the Bastard from 2007. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to the live show from Tommy Guerrero in Kortrijk at the end of March. That is, I believe, the album. Cedar Walton's Mobius, an album from 1975, which Be With will also be releasing in April. I listened to a couple of tracks. It sounds interesting. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it. I might want to dig deeper into it first on YouTube or streaming. Yeah, we'll see. If I like it, I will definitely check it out. And with that, we arrived at April 20th, Record Store Day. Okay, what can we say about Record Store Day? I know record store owners who haven't been participating for the last couple of years, at least not doing special events or stuff like that. And I can understand, because the releases haven't been that interesting or way too expensive in the last couple of years. The releases, you know, there's a lot of live albums and a lot of just things that are easily still available. So I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. But actually this year, the list is interesting. But I thought I could highlight some of them that seem interesting to me. And maybe you can, you know, find something interesting there that wasn't already highlighted in other videos, because there have been a lot of videos already about the Record Store Day list. I'm a bit late. One thing that immediately caught my eye, I have to say, is a 3 LP set. I don't know, I've seen it as announced as 2 LP. I've seen it announced as 3 LP. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's this album from the 94 East, the Minneapolis Genius, the historic 1977 recordings. This is, of course, the first band, or one of the first projects of Prince. Now, the title is a bit misleading because it was actually not all recorded before his debut album, but it is very good. This is great stuff with Andre Simone and P.P. Willie, one of his collaborators. This is a good album. This is a reissue or release from 1985. So this is announced as a 3 or 2 LP set. It's probably going to be 2 LPs. And with some bonus material. I think it's only on the UK list as well. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a global release or how limited it is or whatever. But I will check it out. You know, there's going to be some bonus content. I have no idea what it's going to be. But yeah, although I have this, I will keep an eye out for that new release that's coming for Record Store Day and check out what it is. But this is, like I said, from 1985, and it sounds very good. I don't think it's that hard to find, but yeah, we'll see what the bonus content is and in what form it will appear on Record Store Day. Another thing that's very interesting to me is a vinyl reissue of this 1994 album. This is the CD cover, Future Sound of London's ISDN, a groundbreaking duo, I can say, from the 1990s. Their previous album to this was Lifeforms, which is a classic album. And I actually prefer that one on CD because it's 2 discs and it has such a flow of music and moods and ideas and sounds, and it's, I think, to be honest, it's best enjoyed on CD. This one is one that I might be getting on vinyl because, first of all, it's very good and it's actually some sort of compilation. ISDN, the title says it, it is a compilation of live shows that they did that were broadcast on radio through the then new technology ISDN, so pre-internet or the early stages of the internet, and they did some live sessions from their studio in Dollis Hill in London, and they broadcasted around the world to Holland, Europe, America, and it has some amazing tracks on there. The Far Out Son of Lung and The Ramblings of a Madman, to me, is genius. Highly recommended. Future Sound of London, ISDN. Something completely different. 30th anniversary of this great album by G Love and Special Sauce is coming up for Record Store Day as well. I played this a lot in 1994 when it came out. It was the 1994, I was listening a lot to acid jazz and the crossover between hip-hop and jazz with Guru and Jazzmatazz and all that stuff. And this is a swampy blues album with hip-hop style vocals on top of it by G Love. This is great. That opening tune, The Things That I Used to Do, I play that so much. I listen to that so much. And it still stands. It's a great album from the 1994. Now available on Record Store Day in the 30th anniversary vinyl re-release, finally. Also coming up in a 25th anniversary edition is Nightmares on Wax. This is Car Boot Soul. If you don't know Nightmares on Wax, down-tempo, soulful, hip-hop, dubby, yeah, just great fun music. And after Smoker's Delight, this was his, which is a classic album in my opinion. This came out in 1999. And it's so good. This is so good. It features the beautiful Le Nuit with those beautiful strings. Finer, which is great soul music. Some great down-tempo hip-hop. Yeah, this is a classic album on Warp Records from Nightmares on Wax. It will come in a, like I said, 25th anniversary edition with a bonus 7-inch. The color artwork is going to be different. And although I have this, I will buy the reissue as well, because the 25th anniversary edition of his previous album, like I said, Smoker's Delight, was very well done, remastered, stuff like that, bonus content. So yeah, Car Boot Soul 25th anniversary edition coming out on Record Store Day. One that I find very interesting that is coming out, which I can't show, is Sun Ra, the Pink Elephants on the Parade. It's actually Sun Ra playing Disney tunes. It sounds a bit weird, but actually Pink Elephants on the Parade is from Dumbo, and I love that song. It's previously only available on, I think, on a compilation from the 80s. But I'm very curious about the album. I'm gonna check it out and see where it goes with the rest of the tracks. But yeah, it seems pretty interesting to me anyway. What else do we have? Temples. I don't buy a lot of rock music, but I like this one. This is an album that was released 10 years ago, Sun Structures. It is a psychedelic rock album. I like this cover a lot. It reminds me, of course, of that album from The Who, of which the title escapes me now. But this is a very good psychedelic rock album. How did I get into this? I don't know. It was released in the same year as Tame Impala's Lonerism, which is also kind of in a psychedelic part of the rock spectrum, if you like. But I like this. It has some great singles, and it's a good album. It's still easily available in this original pressing, but apparently someone thinks it's necessary to give this a 10th anniversary treatment. So why the hell not? I'm not gonna buy it because I have this, but if you like psychedelic rock music, Temples, great album. Okay, just a couple more. Another 10th anniversary, a quick show. This is Dead by the Young Fathers, will be out with a bonus disc of bonus material. Also interesting if you don't have an original. There will also be a first time on vinyl release of a 2006 album by the Ipanimas. This was the follow-up, Call of the Gods, but the album that's going to be released is Samba Is Our Gift from 2006. It has Wilson Das Neves as a musician or as a band member. This is great stuff. So not this one, but their previous one, Samba Is Our Gift, is coming out on Far Out Records on vinyl for the first time. You really, if you're into South American music, this is definitely one to check out on Far Out Records. And then finally, there is a compilation coming out with Timeless Jazz Classics. Timeless Jazz is the label which released albums like this, Eastern Rebellion, or this one from Pharoah Sanders. And the compilation will be presented by Giles Peterson. So although I have these two albums and a couple of other Timeless Jazz albums, I'm very curious to read the liner notes by Giles Peterson, his story behind certain tracks. His selection will be on point, no doubt about it. So I will check that out. Timeless Jazz Classics coming out on Music on Vinyl for Record Store Day. So that was my preview of the upcoming reissues for the next couple of months. I might do another video probably about new artists that are releasing new music in the coming months as well. So thank you for sticking around until the very end, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, are you still up watching YouTube videos? Well, thanks for staying up, because actually in the video that you just saw, I forgot to talk about an album, and I would really like to add it as a little addendum to the stuff that's coming out for Record Store Day. I have to talk a little quieter because everybody's gone to sleep here in Belgium. But the album that I want to talk about is this one. Angels with Dirty Faces by Tricky. It was his third album after the classic Max and Quay and the underrated Pre-Millennium Tension. The third album was also released on Island Records in 1998. It has Martina Topley-Bird on vocals, just as on the two previous albums, plus the fantastic PJ Harvey on the very dark gospel track Broken Homes. For the rest, this is vintage Tricky. It's, in my opinion, probably his last album that was in the style of the first two. So very well worth it. The original vinyl pressing was only released on 5,000 numbered copies and is going for quite some money now. So Island, or probably Universal, is re-releasing this for Record Store Day on orange vinyl. Fancy colors for a great album. So that's all I wanted to add to the video about Record Store Day releases coming up for 2024. Have a good night. Signing out.